Hello, it's Leanne Peters here. I'm from templeofbalance.com.au, Temple of Balance on Facebook and Temple of Balance on YouTube, and I am here to pull some cards for this week ahead. That's this week starting Monday the 21st of June. That's the solstice. Happy solstice to everybody. And through till Sunday the 27th of June. So 2021 is the year. So I want to send out an extra special welcome to my Temple of Balance patrons, my Pillar of Light family, and all of those of you who support my work through my website. Thank you so much for your support. If you're new to watching, welcome. What I'm going to be doing is using my combined Speed of Light Oracle cards with my Animal Kingdom Oracle cards. There's 110 cards here in this deck, and I'll be using them to find the best cards for this week ahead. I'm not pulling cards for individuals. This is general guidance for everyone. So I trust you've been led here for a reason, and I trust that something shared supports you and helps you at this time and through this week. So welcome to those of you who joined just then for my solstice online gathering that we just did on Zoom. It was wonderful to pull some cards with you and connect with you more personally. So thank you so much for joining me for that. Also, you may have seen there's a few changes, but I would say improvements that we are testing here at Temple of Balance so that we don't fade away on Facebook. Or fade away from people's lives. It would be nice to stay if we're needed. So there's a few changes. First of all videos that I do on Facebook, all support videos, will be shared back to YouTube. So that's a really great news for those of you on YouTube who watch on YouTube who don't watch on Facebook or don't come to Facebook. I'm also planning on posting a couple of times a week on my YouTube post thing, so keep an eye out for that. And also I'm going to post on my Patreon page, and we're just trialing a few things. So what I would really love you to do is anytime you see something, whether it's here on Facebook, on YouTube, on Patreon, that's a post, or on my website, that you respond to, or that you really love that format or you love that topic, please can you like, can you comment, can you interact so that I know what is working, what needs refining, what needs changing, because we're now starting today a 4-week trial, just Corey and I, to see what might be best. I'm not leaving Facebook. I'm definitely not leaving Facebook. It's just that Facebook doesn't show all of my posts and videos to people. Less than 0.02% of people actually see the posts. So that's over 99% of people that have come to hit the like button don't see what I put up, and quite often there are crickets here. So we just had to do something about that. So I'm not going anywhere. Just please, if you see my videos or things around, please interact. That would be great. And like Maria said, I haven't seen you in a while. We get messages like that all the time. People say, welcome back. You've been away for a while. No, I haven't. I haven't gone anywhere. I've been here every day since 2009, pretty much. So, yeah, interact, please, so we can see what works best to get the stuff that I'm sharing out to you. So let's grab some cards for this week ahead. So I'm shuffling the cards and I'm asking for the best cards. I'm asking the deck. Oh, I dropped a card. I'm asking the deck to please show me the best cards that we need, the majority of us, for this week ahead. So what do we need to know about this week? The cards need a reshuffle, I see. So the best cards for this week, starting Monday the 21st of June through to Sunday the 27th of June, are they're really jumpy. Thank you so much for sharing, and thank you for being here and commenting. Okay, best cards for this week are here. Let's see how we're going to lay them out. I've got a nice big table so I can have a bit more space to move. This time we're doing a big capital C shape, and we've got 3 Speed of Light Oracles and 4 Animal Kingdom. I'm going to turn them over now, and we'll see what they are. Yes, Raina, I haven't seen you for ages. Oh, okay. Interesting. All right, we've got no featured cards. We've got some pretty powerful ones here. No dragons. So I want to start the week, which is the solstice, with the risk-taking card. So this is for Monday. This is for early in the week, and I almost feel like we're stepping off like a ledge or off a cliff. Maybe it's not so high as a cliff, but off a ledge, like a lot of us are stepping off a ledge as we start this new week. So starting and stepping into a new zone, a new space, a new part of our journey. So this is risk-taking card 27, and it says journey, unknown, beginnings, and confidence. So this is about a new journey that's unfolding and opening up for us right now, early in the week. And we've been encouraged to take a risk and follow our heart and step out into these new beginnings that call us. It might be a new part of ourselves that wants to come out of hiding a little bit more than last week. It might be a new door or a new chapter we want to open in our life. It might be new things that we're creating or bringing into our life experience. So there are new things potentially about, but I see a sort of a proactivity, I guess, because I see us stepping off the ledge and into this new beginning. So it feels like the ground feels different. So that's probably something interesting too. What I'm feeling here is the ground felt solid or rocky, like the foundations were perhaps quite solid before, and now we're stepping off, almost stepping into air. So it might feel a little bit uncomfortable as we take the plunge, as we take the step, as we take the risk. But it feels like the benefits that come from that, the rewards, the personal rewards, are going to be worth it, because we're going to be creating a new solid ground. So there is a new chapter opening, but it's like we open the chapter and there are no words yet. So there is like this unknown element, but we can write it up, we can create the path, we can build it up and the foundations as we go. So let's not be afraid of taking a risk and stepping into something new for ourselves early this week. Then that takes us into Tuesday, and we have the butterfly, which is card 2, and it simply says joy. So this is about transformation, it's about joy, it's about feeling light and free. In fact, that airy element, again, of what I was talking about before, moving off the solid rocky ground. It's not necessarily rocky, but as in bumpy, but rocky as in solid, a solid foundation, and stepping off that ledge and into the air. Kind of feels like this too, like the butterfly taking that plunge as it comes out of the cocoon and it sits there drying its wings and prepares to take the plunge as it leaves the solid place where it's standing and takes to flight and takes to air. So I guess what we could ask ourselves early this week, are we ready to take parts of our life to the next level and parts of ourself to the next level? Are we ready to have a go and to give something a try and see what happens? So there is that kind of energy around too. And then we have around Wednesday, the 23rd of June, we have the Yogi. And the Yogi is card 32, and it says teacher, student, wisdom, and a study, and leader. So this is about learning and leading are likely going to be important around midweek. So some of us might be in some situations where we're learning or leading the way with groups or what have you. But this card is also about finding a new or reaching a new level of understanding about something that's been happening in our life that's been maybe confusing, or something that we weren't clear about or were unsure about. So it's like the penny dropping around midweek, where suddenly what we'd been confused about makes sense. Maybe we see it, most likely we see it from a different perspective. So something makes sense, and there is this feeling of being enriched, like feeling fertile and enriched from the information that we get and the understanding and the perspective that we reach. And then moving around the corner of the sea, the sea, which is the way I've laid the cards out, we're going to move to Thursday. For now, we're just going day by day. Thursday, the 24th of June, and we have card 21, the Wolf. And the Wolf says, your battle companion. So this is a support card, and this wolf basically walks by our side as we're taking off into this ungrounded, sort of airy new beginning that we've decided to step off, to step into, stepping off that ledge that I talked about before early in the week. So there is this feeling here that we might feel a bit uncertain or question whether we've made the right decision. And it may be to do with earlier in the week, but it may be something else that's going on in our life where we may be questioning, is this really the right path for me? Is this really the way I want to go? Or how am I going to proceed with this? And there is this feeling that the wolf, like a loyal big dog, is walking beside us at this time, and especially around Thursday, to help us through the trials and the tests that we might be experiencing still around midweek this coming week. So reminding ourselves and reassuring ourselves that we're supported, and we're probably going to need it. We're probably going to need it as we go into Friday and Sunday, especially. Friday, Sunday, and then we've got energy sandwiched in the middle. So let's talk about Friday the 25th and Sunday the 27th. We got these two guys. And I'll talk about what's sandwiched in the middle of those in a minute. So there feels to be this sandwiching feeling, first of all, for the weekend, including Friday. So those sort of 3 days approximately. We've got the shadow card 36 in this deck, and it says shape-shifting, hidden, release, and raven. And we have the raven for Sunday, which is card 17, and it says face your shadow with honesty. There is a lot of shadowy energy coming up. I've been feeling it because we're in the winter solstice, so I use this time deliberately to walk with my shadow, dance with my shadow, get to know my shadow. What is the shadow? The shadow represents parts of us that we might keep hidden. Usually it's hidden from ourselves, maybe also from others. It usually also represents our fear, our insecurities, our issues, our wounds, that sort of inner dark place, or our inner sort of fear or shadowy place is sort of what I feel about the shadows. The shadow card here talks about bringing light into the darkness. So this is talking about a shifting in a situation, most likely, or a feeling where we maybe felt heavy or shadowy or scared about. So we've been encouraged to really look at what the shadow is, or how we really feel about something, being honest, because there's truth and honesty with these cards too, so that we can let the light come into those shadowy parts of ourselves, our relationships, our life. And then on Sunday, so this is all in effect really for the weekend, the Raven talks about facing our shadow with honesty. So this honesty that needs to be, will most likely want to come to the forefront over the weekend, and that can be difficult in some instances and in some situations, and for some people to look at our fear or our what we're scared of or what we're insecure about or what our wounds are, to look at those things honestly. So realizations like I've been living a lie is a massive sort of truth slap, fish slap, because we don't realize that we're living it until that moment when it dawns on us. And then, okay, what are we going to do about it? And there is realizations coming this week. So the shadowy energy may come up from the new understanding or the new viewpoint that we have reached. The clarity that we've gained midweek may prompt us to look at parts of our life or parts of ourselves that haven't maybe been honest, or have been a bit shadowy or a bit fearful. So in the middle of all this is a very interesting card. It's the bear, card 43. And I love this card. It says move out of the rut. So the key to moving out of the rut, because this is the sandwich card in the middle of the shadows, is to explore our shadow, to explore our truth. Now there's no need, I don't think there's any need to look into our shadow or our fear unless it's coming up. So I don't go poking or prodding a sleeping bear. I allow it to come up naturally, and it's going to. So it will come up naturally after a period of time. So there will be triggers probably, or reactions that we have, or just this uncomfortable feeling that we need to explore, or things are challenging us in our life that are reflecting that shadowy, issuey stuff that's going on inside. So I personally wouldn't go prodding at this, but I'm certainly, if I sense something, I'm going to look into it, because I feel things come up for a reason, and everything that comes up is connected to, I've noticed. So if you have issues that are coming up across the board and you think, okay, why is that happening, then this happening over here and that happening over there, they will all be connected somehow. Excuse me. They will be connected somehow. So I like to sometimes make a list of all the things I'm dealing with, whether they are good things or not so good things, and get a list down on paper to get a better perspective of what I'm currently dealing with. Because usually there will be a thread of some connection, a fear of being alone, or a fear of being abandoned, or whatever it might be, where all the arrows are pointing to the same issue or the same underlying problem. So let's see what comes up, especially around the weekend, but it may stir up Wednesday, Thursday, and then maybe quite full on Friday. But the bear, especially around Saturday, but this could be in effect really Friday, Saturday or Sunday, because it is the sandwich energy, is encouraging us to move out of the rut. So moving out of the cave. Sometimes we're in a cave energy, a withdrawn sort of energy, for healing, for mending, for reassessing our life. That's not a bad thing, because we all need that sort of time to reflect or reassess, or to heal or mend. Sometimes though, we get comfortable in our cave. Maybe the cave turns into a cage, but we get comfortable in there, and it actually ends up holding us back and creates this rut energy. So that's where this card's appropriate, is if you've been feeling stuck in a rut, if you've been in your too comfortable zone for too long, if you've been maybe not challenging yourself or not pushing yourself enough, you might feel like you just have this feeling that you want more, or that you've got this pull towards more, but you can't explain what it is. So there's a part of you most likely that wants to come out and wants to experience life at a deeper, more fulfilling level and more enriching level for you. So the key to coming out of the rut this weekend, for those of us that might feel it, is going to be looking honestly at our shadows, looking honestly at what scares us, what we're fearing, what our insecurities or wounds are. Are we willing to see the truth and let that cut through the illusion, or help us reveal a true reality for ourselves, and not one that we've been pretending? And we might not have been deliberately pretending or deliberately living a lie, but I know for me, if I realise, and at one point in my life I did realise, I don't know what happened, it just suddenly something happened, a light bulb turned on in my head and my heart, and I realised I've been living a lie. And I think I kind of expressed it that way, and I came to that realisation myself very personally, but it hung around. I mean, this was like 12 or so years ago, so it still hovers around, that energy, reminding me of that truth. So once I realised I was living a lie, I couldn't continue living it, because I could not do that, because living my truth is really important to me. So realising big things like that, as confronting as they are and as stirring as they are, of our truth and our shadows, they can actually be very motivating to prompt us into change and improving things in our life. So, the other cards for this week, quite intense, quite an exciting beginning to the week, and maybe fairly intense end to the week, but we will see what happens. So please come back and connect with the recording throughout the week if you want to. You can find it pinned to my Temple of Balance Facebook page. You'll find it on my YouTube channel, Temple of Balance, and also on my website, templeofbalance.com.au. I'm going to pull a card to go, so a theme card for this week. Before I do, I want to encourage you again, please hit the thumbs up button. Please show us some love. Please comment or share if you're inspired to. And if you want to connect more privately, please message us through our website. If you are someone who prefers to watch things or see things on Facebook or wherever and you don't want to comment, I can totally understand with the way Facebook is. Please drop us a little email to say how much you value these types of things if you want to, just as a different way of reaching out just so I know what I'm going to keep and what's going to change. What have we got coming up? We have my next online art class. We're going to be exploring illusion, which is going to pull us right into truth and reality stuff. So we'll be doing that next art class, which will be Saturday week on the 3rd of July, if you want to join for that. I've got new ceramics. My dragons have arrived, and there's lots of other stuff you can explore on my website. Please visit templeofbalance.com.au. Okay, the best card for the theme. These are well shuffled. The best card for the theme, which is going to help us see the bigger picture for this week and bring all these days together, is this. Our theme card is the Macaw. Okay, this adds an interesting slant to this week. It's card 12, and it says bold and daring communication. So what is going to be a really important theme, if you like, or underlying element? This was Sunday's card, Dina, which was the shadow. So I talked about Friday and Sunday together. An underlying element to this week is going to likely be around our communications. So we might find there are communication issues show up this week. We might find we have some great communication connections this week. But communication feels like it's going to be almost like a vine that threads through everything. So it's going to be really important, most likely, to look at how we're communicating with ourselves. How well are we listening and communicating with how we feel? Are we giving time to listen to how we really feel about something, or what we really need about something, or who we really are? Because we are most likely not perfect, so there is lots of stuff that can be improved about who we are, and I feel that we can change our personality if we want to. So maybe there is time that is required this week where we need to communicate and really look seriously about who we are, and make some changes, change some of those spots that we think are fixed, because I'm sure they're not. So communicating with ourselves, and we may also find some communications with others, because there's a big truth theme, shadowy theme around the end of the week and around the weekend. Then communication is going to be really important. But the weird thing is about that shadowy energy, we might feel a bit uncomfortable or unsafe to communicate too. So there could be lots of different elements where this communication fits in, and we'll just have to see how it plays out. But most importantly is to make sure we're listening and communicating clearly with ourselves. How do we really feel about this thing? How do we really feel about this person? How do we really feel about our lives? And if the answer is given and we don't really like it, then what can we do to change or improve that, so we can create a life or an experience that has a better answer, that resonates further with our truth, or better with our truth. So it might be quite confronting this week. Communication stuff and communication issues tend to be confronting. Shadowy stuff, truth stuff tends to be confronting. So we may have some confronting moments this week, but let's not shut ourselves down from them, but communicate with ourselves through it and work out, what can we learn from this? How can we grow from this? So I trust this makes sense. You won't probably know till you go through your week, so please come back and connect with the recording. But thank you so much for connecting, and sending you loads of love. Have a great week. Happy birthday, happy anniversary if you're celebrating, happy solstice. And yeah, let's walk through this time period together. We, you, never alone. Never alone. So thank you so much. I'll see you through the week. I'm going to bring more videos out too, so keep an eye out. Bye-bye.